Hello, it's Dmitry again. Today we'll be going to read the Book of Enoch, also known as First Enoch. Now, I will provide very minor introduction to this and then read the material and then provide some commentary afterwards as well. So I'm reading from the literal standard version for First Enoch. There's also a Second Enoch and a Third Enoch. However, these books, although written in a sort of similar vein, they are written by different authors from different periods of time, and I think in different places. I think that this book here is really originally written in Aramaic mostly, with some Hebrew. The third book of the third Enoch is written in Hebrew, I believe, and the second one is preserved at least in Slavonic, but I think it probably has some sort of older iteration potentially. But regardless, though, those different books, it's not necessarily like the same way we might think of as, I don't know, what's a good example? Basically, it's not like they're chapters part of the same book. They're more like different books that are vaguely connected to each other. They cover kind of the same topic relating to Enoch and some of that time before the flood. So let me go read a little bit of the introductory material that they provide here in this book. It says here, the Book of Enoch, also called First Enoch, is an ancient Jewish religious work ascribed by tradition to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. Enoch contains unique material on the origins of supernatural demons and giants, why some messengers fell from heaven, an explanation of why the great flood was morally necessary, and prophetic exposition of the 1,000-year reign of the Messiah. It is wholly extant only in the Ge'ez language, which is the language you would find at least traditionally in Ethiopia, with Aramaic fragments from the Dead Sea Scrolls and a few Greek and Latin fragments. Jude chapter 1 verses 14 and 15 is a direct quote of Enoch chapter 1 verse 9. See also 1 Enoch chapter 60 verse 8. Enoch is composed of 5 sections. And this is another point too. When I say these are 3 different books, first, second, and third Enoch. First Enoch is more like a compilation of several different texts put together, again covering sort of the same topic. So really, the first one is kind of a grab bag. It's older than the other 2, by the way. The second and third are kind of, I believe they're more cogent and solidified as singular works for each, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that one. But they are still covering sort of the same topics, or similar topics. This first Enoch was written several centuries before the advent of Christianity. The second Enoch, I believe, was around the same time as Christianity began, maybe like within the 1st century AD. And the third Enoch, I think, came some centuries later, which is why it has some of the Kabbalistic qualities to it, probably written by a Jewish author or authors. Anyway, let's get back into 1st Enoch. Or let's begin. Section 1. The Book of the Watchers. Chapter 1. The words of the blessing of Enoch, with which he blessed the chosen ones and righteous, who will be living in the day of tribulation, when all the wicked and godless are to be removed. And he took up his allegory and spoke, Enoch, a righteous man, whose eyes were opened by God, saw the vision of the Holy One in the heavens, which the messengers showed me, and from them I heard everything, and from them I understood as I saw, but not for this generation, but for a remote one which is to come. Concerning the chosen ones, I spoke and took up my allegory concerning them. The Holy Great One will come out from his dwelling, and the perpetual God will tread on the earth, even on Mount Sinai, and appear in the strength of his might from the heaven of heavens, and all will be smitten with fear. And the watchers will quake, and great fear and trembling will seize them to the ends of the earth. And the high mountains will be shaken, and the high hills will be made low, and will melt like wax before the flame. And the earth will be wholly split apart, and all that is on the earth will perish. And there will be a judgment on all men. But with the righteous he will make peace, and will protect the chosen ones, and mercy will be on them. And they will all belong to God, and they will be prospered, and they will be blessed, and he will help them all. And light will appear to them, and he will make peace with them. And behold, He comes with myriads of his holy ones to execute judgment on all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all works of their ungodliness which they have ungodly committed, and of all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Chapter 2. Observe everything that takes place in the heavens, how they do not change their orbits, and the luminaries which are in the heavens, how they all rise and set in order, each in its season, and do not transgress against their appointed order. Behold, the earth, and give heed to the things which take place on it from first to last, how steadfast they are, how none of the things on earth change, but all the works of God appear to you. Behold, the summer and the winter, how the whole earth is filled with water, and clouds, and dew, and rain lie on it. Chapter 3. Observe and see how in the winter all the trees seem as though they had withered and shed all their leaves, except 14 trees, which do not lose their foliage, but retain the old foliage from the 2 to 3 years until the new comes. Chapter 4. And again observe the days of summer, how the sun is above the earth, over against it, and you seek shade and shelter by reason of the great heat of the sun, and the earth also burns with growing heat, and so you cannot tread on the earth, or on a rock by reason of its heat. Chapter 5. Observe how the trees cover themselves with green leaves and bear fruit. For what reason take heed, and know with regard to all his works, and recognize how he that lives forever has made them so. And all his works go on like this from year to year forever, and all the tasks which they accomplish for him, and their tasks do not change, but according as God has ordained, so it is done. And behold, how the sea and the rivers accomplish their tasks in like manner, and do not change their tasks from his commands. But you have not been steadfast, nor done the commands of the Lord. But you have turned away and spoken proud and hard words with your impure mouths against his greatness. O you hard-hearted, you will find no peace. Therefore you will execrate your days, and the years of your life will perish, and the years of your destruction will be multiplied in continuous execration, and you will find no mercy. In those days you will make your names a continuous execration to all the righteous, and by you will all who curse, and all the sinners of the godless will imprecate by you. And for you, the godless, there will be a curse, and all the righteous will rejoice, and there will be forgiveness of sins, and every mercy and peace and forbearance. There will be salvation to them, an excellent light, and for all you sinners there will be no salvation, but a curse will abide on all of you. But for the chosen ones there will be light and joy and peace, and they will inherit the earth, and then wisdom will be bestowed on the chosen ones, and they will all live and never again sin, either through ungodliness or through pride, but they who are wise will be humble, and they will not transgress again. Nor will they sin all the days of their life, nor will they die of the divine anger or wrath, but they will complete the number of the days of their life, and their lives will be increased in peace, and the years of their joy will be multiplied, in continuous gladness and peace all the days of their life. Chapter 6. And it came to pass, when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born to them beautiful and attractive daughters. And the messengers, the children of the heavens, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose wives for ourselves from among the children of men, and beget children for ourselves. And Simjaza, who was their leader, said to them, Indeed, I fear will not agree to do this deed, and I alone will have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual imprecations not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Then they all swore together and bound themselves by mutual imprecations on it. And they were 200 in all, who descended in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called it Mount Hermon, because they had sworn and bound themselves by mutual imprecations on it. And these are the names of their leaders. Their leader, Simjaza, and Arakelba, Ramiel, Kokablel, Tamlel, Ramlel, Danel, Ezekiel, Barakiel, Asael, Armaros, Baturel, Ananel, Zachiel, Semaspiel, Saturel, Turel, Jomjel, and Seriel. These are their chiefs of tens. Chapter 7. And all the others took wives to themselves together with them, and each chose one for himself. And they began to go in to them and defile themselves with them, and they taught them charms and enchantments, and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. And they became pregnant, and they bore great giants, whose height was 3,000 ells, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals and of the earth and the craft of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all the coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Semjaza taught enchantments and root cutting, Armoros the resolving of enchantments, Barachiel taught astrology, Kokabel the constellations, Ezekiel the knowledge of the clouds, Arachiel the sign of the earth, Shemsiel the signs of the sun, Suriel the course of the moon, and as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Chapter 9. And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw much blood being shed on the earth, and all the lawlessness being worked on the earth. And they said to one another, the earth made without inhabitant cries the voice of their crying up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their suit, saying, bring our cause before the Most High. And they said to the Lord of the ages, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, and God of the ages, the throne of your glory stands to all the generations of the ages, and your name is holy and glorious and blessed to all the ages. You have made all things and have power over all things, and all things are naked and open in your sight, and you see all things, and nothing can hide itself from you. You see what Azazel has done, who has taught all unrighteousness on the earth, and revealed the perpetual secrets which were preserved in heaven, which men were striving to learn, and Semjaza, to whom you have given authority to bear rule over his associates, and they have gone to the daughters of men on the earth, and have slept with the women, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins. And the women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. And now behold, the souls of those who have died are crying and making their suit to the gates of heaven, and their lamentations have ascended, and they cannot cease because of the lawless deeds which are worked on the earth. And you know all things before they come to pass, and you see these things, and you permit them, and you do not say to us what we are to do to them in regard to these. Chapter 10. Then the Most High uttered, the Holy and Great One spoke, and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech, and said to him, go to Noah and tell him, in my name, hide yourself, and reveal to him the end that is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and a deluge is about to come on the whole earth, and will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world. And again, the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudael, and cast him therein, and place rough and jagged rocks over him, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment he will be cast into the fire, and heal the earth which the messengers have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, and that all the children of men may not perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. And to Gabriel the Lord said, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of the watchers from among men. Send them against one another, that they may destroy each other in battle. For they will not make length of days, and no request that they make of you will be granted to their fathers on their behalf, for they hope to live a continuous life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And the Lord said to Michael, Go bind Simjaza and his associates, who have united themselves with women so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth until the day of their judgment and of their consummation, until the judgment that is forever and ever is consummated. In those days they will be led off to the abyss of fire, into the torment and the prisons in which they will be confined forever. And whoever will be condemned and destroyed will from then on be bound together with them to this end of all generations, and destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end. And let the plant of unrighteousness and truth appear, and it will prove a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth will be planted in truth and joy forevermore. And then all the righteous will escape and will live until they beget thousands of children, and they will complete all the days of their youth and their old age in peace. And then the whole earth will be tilled in righteousness, and will be planted with trees and be full of blessing. And all desirable trees will be planted on it, and they will plant vines on it, and the vine which they plant thereon will yield wine in abundance. And as far all the seed which is sown thereon, each measure of it will bear 1,000, and each measure of olives will yield 10 presses of oil. And you will cleanse the earth from all oppression and from all unrighteousness, from all sin and from all godlessness, and destroy all the uncleanness that is worked on the earth from off the earth. And all the children of men will become righteous, and all the nations will offer adoration and will praise me, and all will worship me. And the earth will be cleansed from all defilement and from all sin, and from all punishment and from all torment, and I will never again send them on it for generation to generation and forever. Chapter 11. And in those days I will open the store chambers of blessing which are in the heavens, so as to send them down on the earth over the work and labor of the children of men. And truth and peace will be associated together throughout all the days of the world and throughout all the generations of men. Chapter 12. Before these things Enoch was hidden, and no one of the children of men knew where he was hidden, and where he dwelt, and what had become of him. And his activities had to do with the watchers, and his days were with the holy ones. And I, Enoch, was the blessing of the Lord of majesty. Enoch, was blessing the Lord of majesty and the King of the ages. And the watchers called me, Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, you scribe of righteousness, go declare to the watchers of the heavens, who have left the high heaven, the holy perpetual place, and have defiled themselves with women, and have done as the children of earth do, and have taken wives to themselves. You have worked great destruction on the earth, and you will have no peace nor forgiveness of sin. And inasmuch as they delight themselves in their children, they will see the murder of their beloved ones, and they will lament over the destruction of their children, and will make supplication continuously, but you will not attain mercy and peace. Chapter 13. And Enoch went and said, Azazel, you will have no peace. A severe sentence has gone out against you to put you in bonds, and you will not have toleration nor request granted to you, because of the unrighteousness which you have taught, and because of all the works of godlessness and unrighteousness and sin which you have shown to men. Then I went and spoke to them all together, and they were all afraid, and fear and trembling seized them. And they implored me to draw up a petition for them, that they might find forgiveness, and to read their petition in the presence of the Lord of heaven. For from that point forward they could not speak with him, nor lift up their eyes to heaven for shame of their sins for which they had been condemned. Then I wrote out their petition and the prayer in regard to their spirits and their deeds individually, and in regard to their requests that they should have forgiveness, in length. And I went off and sat down at the waters of Dan, in the land of Dan, to the south of the west of Hermon. And there I read their petition until I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions fell down on me. And I saw visions of discipline, and a voice came bidding me to tell it to the sons of heaven and reprimand them. And when I awoke, I came to them, and they were all sitting gathered together, weeping in Abel Jael, which is between Lebanon and Seneser, with their faces covered. And I recounted before them all the visions which I had seen in sleep. And I began to speak the words of righteousness, and to reprimand the heavenly watchers. Chapter 14. The scroll of the words of righteousness and of the reprimand of the perpetual watchers in accordance with the command of the Holy Great One in that vision. I saw in my sleep that I will now say with a tongue of flesh and with the breath of my mouth, which the Great One has given to me to converse with and understand with the heart. As he has created and given man the power of understanding, the word of wisdom, so he also has created and given me the power of reprimanding the watchers, the children of heaven. I wrote out your petition, and in my vision it appeared like this, that your petition will not be granted to you throughout all the days of the age, and that judgment has been finally passed on you. Yes, your petition will not be granted to you. And from now on you will not ascend into heaven for all ages, and in bonds of the earth the decree has gone out to bind you for all the days of the world. And you will have seen the destruction of your beloved sons beforehand, and will have no pleasure in them. But they will fall before you by the sword, and your petition on their behalf will not be granted, nor yet on your own, even though you weep and pray and speak all the words contained in the writing which I have written. And the vision was shown to me like this. Behold, in the vision clouds invited me, and a mist summoned me. And the course of the stars and the lightning sped toward me. And the winds in their vision caused me to fly, and lifted me upward, and bore me into heaven. And I went in until I drew near to a wall in which is built of crystals, and surrounded by tongues of fire. And it began to frighten me. And I went into the tongues of fire, and drew near to a large house, which is built of crystals. And the walls of the house were like a tessellated floor made of crystals, and its groundwork was of crystal. Its ceiling was like that of the path of the stars and the lightnings, and between them were fiery cherubim. And their heaven was as clear as water. A flaming fire surrounded the walls, and its portals blazed with fire. And I entered into that house, and it was hot as fire and cold as ice. There were no delights of life therein. Fear covered me, and trembling took hold of me. And as I quaked and trembled, I fell on my face, and I beheld a vision, and behold, there was a second house, greater than the former, and the entire portal stood open before me, and it was built of flames of fire, and in every respect it so excelled in splendor and magnificence, in extent that I cannot describe to you its splendor and its extent. And its floor was of fire, and above it were lightnings in the path of the stars, and its ceiling was also flaming fire. And I looked and saw a lofty throne therein. Its appearance was as crystal, and the wheels thereof as the shining sun. And there was a vision of cherubim, and from underneath the throne came streams of flaming fire, so that I could not look thereon. And the great glory sat thereon, and his raiment shone more brightly than the sun, and was whiter than any snow. None of the messengers could enter and behold his face by reason of the magnificence and glory, and no flesh could behold him. The flaming fire was around him, and a great fire stood before him, and none around could draw near him. Myriads of myriads stood before him, yet he needed no counselor. And the most holy ones who were near to him did not leave by night, nor depart from him. And until then I had been prostrate on my face, trembling. And the Lord called me with his own mouth, and said to me, Come here, Enoch, and hear my word. And one of the holy ones came to me and waked me. And he made me rise up and approach the door, and I bowed my face downwards. Chapter 15. And he answered and said to me, and I heard his voice, do not fear, Enoch. You righteous man and scribe of righteousness, approach here and hear my voice, and go say to the watchers of the heavens, who have sent you to intercede for them, you should intercede for men, and not men for you. Why have you left the high holy in perpetual heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, and taken wives to yourselves, and done like the children of earth, and begotten giants as your sons? And though you were holy and spiritual, living the continuous life, you have defiled yourselves with the blood of women, and have begotten children with the blood of flesh. And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those who die and perish also do. Therefore, I have also given them wives, and they might impregnate them and beget children by them, and nothing might be wanting to them on earth. But you were formerly spiritual, living the continuous life, and immortal for all generations of the world. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you, for as for the spiritual ones of the heavens, their dwelling is in the heavens. And now the giants who are produced from the spiritual spirits and flesh will be called evil spirits on the earth, and their dwelling will be on earth. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they were born from men, and their beginning and primal origin is from the holy watchers. They will be evil spirits on earth, and they will be called evil spirits. As for the spirits of heaven, their dwelling will be in heaven. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born on the earth, their dwelling will be on the earth. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth. And cause trouble, they take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits will rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. Chapter 16. From the days of the slaughter and destruction and death of the giants, from the souls of whose flesh the spirits, having gone out, will destroy without incurring judgment. They will therefore destroy until the day of the consummation, the great judgment, in which the age will be consummated over the watchers and the godless. Yes, it will be wholly consummated. And now, as to the watchers who have sent you to intercede for them, who had previously been in heaven, say to them, you have been in heaven, but all the mysteries had not yet been revealed to you, and you knew worthless ones, and you made these known to the women in the hardness of your hearts. And through these mysteries women and men work much evil on earth. Therefore say to them, you have no peace. Chapter 17. And they took and brought me to a place in which those who were there were like flaming fire. And they appeared as men when they wished. And they brought me to the place of darkness, into a mountain, the point of whose summit reached to heaven. And I saw the place of the luminaries, and the treasures of the stars and of the thunder, and in the uttermost depths where there were a fiery bow and arrows, and their quiver, and a fiery sword, and all the lightnings. And they took me to the living waters, and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. And I came to the river of fire, in which the fire flows like water, and discharges itself into the great sea toward the west. I saw the great rivers, and came to the great river, and to the great darkness, and went to the place where no flesh walks. I saw the mountains of the darkness of winter, in the place from where all the waters of the deep flow. I saw the mouths of all the rivers of the earth, and the mouth of the deep. Chapter 18. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. I saw how he had furnished the whole creation, and the firm foundations of the earth with them. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the four winds which bear the earth and the expanse of the heavens. And I saw how the winds stretch out the vaults of the heavens, and have their station between the heavens and the earth. These are the pillars of the heavens. I saw the winds of the heavens which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all the stars to their setting. I saw the winds on the earth carrying the clouds. I saw the path of the messengers. I saw at the end of the earth the expanse of the heavens above. And I proceeded and saw a place which burns day and night, where there are 7 mountains of magnificent stones, 3 toward the east and 3 toward the south. And as far those toward the east, one was of colored stone, one of pearl, and one of jacinth. And those toward the south were of red stone. But the middle one reached to the heavens like the throne of God, of alabaster, and the summit of the throne was of sapphire. And I saw a flaming fire, and beyond these mountains is a region at the end of the earth, of the great earth. There the heavens were completed. And I saw a deep abyss with columns of heavenly fire, and among them I saw columns of fire fall, which were beyond measure, alike toward the height and toward the depth. And beyond the abyss, that abyss, I saw a place which had no expanse of the heavens above, and no firmly founded earth beneath it. There was no water on it, and no birds, but it was a waste and horrible place. I saw 7 stars. They are like great burning mountains. And to me, when I inquired regarding them, the messenger said, "This place is the end of the heavens and earth. This what has become a prison for the stars and the host of heaven. And the stars which roll over the fire are they. And the stars which roll over the fire are they which have transgressed the command of the Lord in the beginning of their rising, because they did not come out all at their appointed times. And he was angry with them and bound them until the time when their guilt should be consummated for 10,000 years." Chapter 19. And Uriel said to me, "The messengers who have connected themselves with women will stand here, and their spirits, assuming many different forms, are defiling mankind and will lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. They will stand here until the day of the great judgment, in which they will be judged until they are made an end of. And also the women of the messengers who went astray will become sirens. And only I, Enoch, saw the vision, the ends of all things, and no man will see as I have seen." Chapter 20. And these are the names of the holy messengers who watch: Uriel, one of the holy messengers who was over the world and over Tartarus; Raphael, one of the holy messengers who was over the spirits of men; Raguel, one of the holy messengers who takes vengeance on the world of the luminaries; Michael, one of the holy messengers, namely he that is set over the best part of mankind and over chaos; Serakel, one of the holy messengers who is set over the spirits who sin in the spirit; Gabriel, one of the holy messengers who is over paradise and the serpents and the cherubim; Remiel, one of the holy messengers whom God set over those who rise. Chapter 21. And I proceeded to where the things were chaotic, and I saw something horrible. I saw neither a heaven above nor a firmly founded earth, but a chaotic and horrible place. And there I saw 7 stars of the heavens bound together in it, like great mountains and burning with fire. Then I said, "For what sin are they bound, and on what account have they been cast in here?" Then Uriel, one of the holy messengers who was with me, and was chief over them, spoke and said, "Enoch, why do you ask? Why are you eager for the truth? These are of the number of the stars of the heavens, which have transgressed the command of the Lord, and are bound here until 10,000 years. The time entailed by their sins are consummated." And from there I went to another place, which was still more horrible than the former. And I saw a horrible thing. A great fire there which burned and blazed, and the place was cleft as far as the abyss, being full of great descending columns of fire. I could see neither its extent or magnitude, nor could I conjecture. Then I said, "How fearful is the place, and how terrible to look on!" Then Uriel answered me, one of the holy messengers who was with me, and said to me, "Enoch, why do you have such fear and fright?" And I answered, "Because of this fearful place, and because of the spectacle of the pain." And he said to me, "This place is the prison of the messengers, and they will be imprisoned here forever." Chapter 22. And then I went to another place, the mountain of hard rock, and there were 4 hollow places in it, deep and wide and very smooth. Oh, how smooth the hollow places are, and deep and dark to look at. Then Raphael answered, one of the holy messengers who was with me, and said to me, "These hollow places have been created for this very purpose, that the spirits of the souls of the dead should assemble therein, yes, that all the souls of the children of men should assemble here, and these places have been made to receive them until the day of their judgment, and until their appointed period, until the great judgment comes on them." I saw the spirit of a dead man making suit, and his voice went out to heaven and made suit. And I asked Raphael, the messenger who was with me, and I said to him, This spirit which makes suit, who is it, whose voice goes out and makes suit to heaven? And he answered me, saying, This is the spirit which went out from Abel, whom his brother Cain slew. And he makes his suit against him until his seed is destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed is annihilated from among the seed of men. Then I asked regarding it, and regarding all the hollow places, Why is one separated from the other? And he answered me and said to me, These three have been made that the spirits of the dead might be separated. And such a division has been made for the spirits of the righteous, in which there is the bright spring of water. And such has been made for sinners when they die and are buried in the earth, and judgment has not been executed on them in their lifetime. Here their spirits will be set apart in this great pain until the great day of judgment. And there will be punishment and torment of those who are cursed forever, and retribution for their spirits. There he will bind them forever. And such a division has been made for the spirits of those who make their suit, who make disclosures concerning their destruction, when they were slain in the days of the sinners. Such has been made for the spirits of men who were not righteous but sinners, who were complete in transgression, and they will be companions of the transgressors, but their spirits will not be slain in the day of judgment, nor will they be raised from there. Then I blessed the Lord of glory and said, Blessed is my Lord, the Lord of righteousness, who rules forever. Chapter 23. From there I went to another place to the west of the ends of the earth, and I saw a burning fire which ran without resting, and did not cease from its course day or night, but ran regularly. And I asked, saying, What is this which does not rest? Then Raguel, one of the holy messengers who was with me, answered me and said to me, This course of fire which you have seen is the fire in the west which persecutes all the luminaries of the heavens. Chapter 24. And from there I went to another place of the earth, and he showed me a mountain range of fire which burned day and night. And I went beyond it and saw 7 magnificent mountains, all differing from each other, and the stones thereof were magnificent and beautiful, magnificent as a whole, of glorious appearance and fair exterior, 3 toward the east, one founded on the other, and 3 toward the south, one on the other. And deep rough ravines, not only which joined with any other, and the 7th mountain was in the midst of these, and it excelled them in height, resembling the seat of a throne, and fragrant trees encircled the throne. And among them was a tree such as I had never yet smelled, neither was any among them, nor were others like it. It had a fragrance beyond all fragrance, and its leaves and blooms and wood do not wither forever, and its fruit is beautiful, and its fruit resembles the dates of a palm. Then I said, Oh, how beautiful and fragrant this tree is, and its leaves are fair, and its blooms are very delightful in appearance. Then Michael, one of the holy and honored messengers who was with me, and was their leader, answered, chapter 25, and he said to me, Enoch, why do you ask me regarding the fragrance of the tree, and why do you wish to learn the truth? Then I answered him, saying, I wish to know about everything, but especially about this tree. And he answered, saying, This high mountain which you have seen, whose summit is like the throne of God, is his throne, where the Holy Great One, the Lord of glory, the perpetual King, will sit when he will come down to visit the earth with goodness. And as far this fragrant tree, no mortal is permitted to touch it until the great judgment, when he will take vengeance on all and bring everything to its consummation forever. It will then be given to the righteous and holy. Its fruit will be for food to the chosen ones. It will be transplanted to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the perpetual King. Then they will rejoice with joy and be glad, and they will enter into the holy place, and its fragrance will be in their bones. And they will live a long life on earth, such as your fathers lived. And in their days no sorrow, or plague, or torment, or calamity will touch them. Then I bless the God of glory and perpetual King, who was prepared such things for their righteous, and has created them and promised to give to them. Chapter 26. And I went from there to the middle of the earth, and I saw a blessed place in which there were trees with branches abiding and blooming. And there I saw a holy mountain, and underneath the mountain to the east there was a stream, and it flowed toward the south. And I saw another mountain higher than this toward the east, and between them a deep and narrow ravine. In it also ran a stream underneath the mountain. And to the west thereof there was another mountain, lower than the former and of small elevation, and a deep and dry ravine between them. And another deep and dry ravine was at the extremities of the three mountains, and all the ravines were deep and narrow, being formed of hard rock, and trees were not planted on them. And I marveled at the rocks, and I marveled at the ravine. Yes, I marveled very much. Chapter 27. Then I said, For what purpose is this blessed land, which is entirely filled with trees, and this accursed valley between? Then Uriel, one of the holy messengers who was with me, answered and said, This accursed valley is for those who are accursed forever. Here all the accursed will be gathered together, who utter unseemly words with their lips against the Lord, and speak hard things of his glory. Here they will be gathered together, and here will be their place of judgment. In the last days there will be the spectacle of righteous judgment on them in the presence of the righteous forever. Here the merciful will bless the Lord of glory, the perpetual King, in the days of judgment over the former. They will bless him for the mercy in accordance with which he has assigned them their lot. Then I blessed the Lord of glory and set out his glory and lauded him gloriously. Chapter 28. And then I went forward toward the east into the midst of the mountain range of the desert, and I saw a wilderness, and it was solitary, full of trees and plants, and water gushed out from above, rushing like a copious watercourse which flowed toward the northwest. It caused clouds and dew to descend on every side. Chapter 29. And then I went to another place in the desert and approached to the east of this mountain range. And there I saw aromatic trees exhaling the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh. And the trees were also similar to the almond tree. Chapter 30. And beyond these I went far to the east, and I saw another place, a valley full of water. And therein there was a tree, the color of fragrant trees such as the mastic. And on the sides of these valleys I saw fragrant cinnamon. And beyond these I proceeded to the east. Chapter 31. And I saw other mountains, and among them were groves of trees, and nectar flowed out from them, which is called Serara and Galbanum. And beyond these mountains I saw another mountain to the east of the ends of the earth, on which were aloe trees, and all the trees were full of stocta, being like almond trees. And when one burned it, it smelled sweeter than any refreshing fragrance. Chapter 32. And after these fragrant odors, as I looked toward the north over the mountains, I saw 7 mountains full of choice nard and fragrant trees and cinnamon and pepper. And when I saw over the summits of all these mountains, far toward the east of the earth, and passed above the Erythraean Sea, and went far from it and passed over the messenger Zotiel. And I came to the garden of righteousness, and saw beyond those trees many large trees growing there and of attractive fragrance, large, very beautiful and glorious, and the tree of wisdom, of which they eat and know great wisdom, that the tree is in height like the fir, and its leaves are like those of the carob tree, and its fruit is like the clusters of the vine, very beautiful, and the fragrance of the tree penetrates far. Then I said, How beautiful is the tree, and how attractive is its look. Then Raphael, the holy messenger who was with me, answered me and said, This is the tree of wisdom, of which your ancient father and your ancient mother, who were before you, have eaten and have learned wisdom. And their eyes were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they were driven out of the garden. Chapter 33. And from there I went to the ends of the earth, and saw great beasts there, and each differed from the other, and also birds differing in appearance, in beauty and voice, the one differing from the other. And to the east of those beasts I saw the ends of the earth on which the heavens rest, and the portals of the heavens open. And I saw how the stars of the heavens come out, and I counted the portals out of which they proceed, and wrote down all their outlets of each individual star by itself, according to their number and their names, their courses, and their positions, and their times, and their mouths. As Uriel, the holy messenger who was with me, showed me, he showed all things to me, and wrote them down for me. He also wrote their names, and their laws, and their companies for me. Chapter 34. And from there I went toward the north to the ends of the earth. There I saw a great and glorious device at the ends of the whole earth. And here I saw 3 portals of heaven open in the heavens. North winds proceed through each of them. When they blow, there is cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. And out of the portal they blow for good. But when they blow through the other 2 portals, it is with violence and affliction on the earth, and they blow with violence. Chapter 35. And from there I went toward the west to the ends of the earth, and saw 3 portals of heaven open there, such as I had seen in the east, the same number of portals and the same number of outlets. Chapter 36. And from there I went to the south to the ends of the earth, and saw 3 portals of heaven open there, and then there came dew, rain, and wind. And from there I went to the east, to the ends of the heavens, and saw the 3 eastern portals of heaven open here, and small portals were above them. Through each of these small portals the stars of the heavens pass and run their course to the west on the path which is shown to them. And as often as I saw, I always blessed the Lord of glory, and I continued to bless the Lord of glory, who has worked great and glorious wonders, to show the greatness of his work to the messengers and to spirits and to men, that they might praise his work and all his creation, that they might see the work of his might, and praise the great work of his hands, and bless him forever. And that is the end of the book of Watchers. That is the first part of the book of Enoch, or first Enoch. So end of section 1. Okay, well, let's see if we can go into section 2 now. Section 2, the book of allegories of Enoch. Chapter 37. The second vision which he saw, the vision of wisdom, which Enoch the son of Jared, the son of Mahalalel, the son of Canaan, the son of Enos, the son of Seth, the son of Adam, saw. And this is the beginning of the words of wisdom, which I lifted up my voice to speak and say to those which dwell on earth. Hear, you men of ancient time, and see, you that come after, the words of the Holy One, which I will speak before the Lord of spirits. It were better to declare them only to the men of ancient time, but even from those that come after we will not withhold the beginning of wisdom. Until the present day, such wisdom has never been given by the Lord of spirits, as I have received according to my insight, according to the good pleasure of the Lord of spirits, by whom the lot of continuous life has been given to me. Now 3 allegories were imparted to me, and I lifted up my voice and recounted them to those that dwell on the earth. Chapter 38. The first allegory, when the congregation of the righteous will appear, and sinners will be judged for their sins, and will be driven from the face of the earth. And when the righteous one will appear before the eyes of the righteous, whose chosen works hang on the Lord of spirits, and light will appear to the righteous, and the chosen ones who dwell on the earth, where then will be the dwelling of the sinners, and where the resting place of those who have denied the Lord of spirits. It has been good for them if they had not been born. When the secrets of the righteous will be revealed, and the sinners judged, and the godless driven from the presence of the righteous and chosen ones, from that time those that possess the earth will no longer be powerful and exalted, and they will not be able to behold the face of the holy, For the Lord of spirits has caused his light to appear on the face of the holy, righteous, and chosen ones. Then the kings and the mighty will perish and be given into the hands of the righteous and holy. And from then on none will seek for themselves mercy from the Lord of spirits, for their life is at an end. Chapter 39. And it will come to pass in those days that chosen ones and holy children will descend from the high heaven, and their seed will become one with the children of men. And in those days Enoch received scrolls of zeal and wrath, and scrolls of disquiet and expulsion. And mercy will not be accorded to them, says the Lord of spirits. And in those days a whirlwind carried me off from the earth and set me down at the end of the heavens. And there I saw another vision, and the dwelling places of the holy, and the resting places of the righteous. Here my eyes saw their dwellings with his righteous messengers, and their resting places with the holy, and they petitioned and interceded and prayed for the children of men, and righteousness flowed before them as water, and mercy like dew on the earth. So it is among them forever and ever. And in the place my eyes saw the chosen one of righteousness and of faith, and I saw his dwelling place under the wings of the Lord of spirits, and righteousness will prevail in his days, and the righteous and chosen ones will be without number before him forever and ever. And all the righteous and chosen ones before him will be strong as fiery lights, and their mouth will be full of blessing, and their lips extol the name of the Lord of spirits, and righteousness will never fail before him. I wished to dwell there, and my spirit longed for that dwelling place, and my portion has been there until now, for so it has been established concerning me before the Lord of spirits. In those days I praised and extolled the name of the Lord of spirits with blessings and praises, because he has destined me for blessing and glory according to the good pleasure of the Lord of spirits. For a long time my eyes regarded that place, and I blessed him and praised him, saying, Blessed is he, and may he be a blessed from the beginning and forevermore. And before him there is no ceasing. He knows before the world was created what is forever and what will be from generation to generation. Those who do not sleep bless you. They stand before you, your glory, and bless you, praise and extol, saying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of spirits. He fills the earth with spirits. And here my eyes saw all those who do not sleep. They stand before him and bless and say, Blessed are you, and blessed is the name of the Lord forever and ever. And my face was changed, for I could no longer behold. Chapter 40. And after I saw thousands of thousands and 10,000 times 10,000, I saw a multitude beyond number and reckoning, who stood before the Lord of spirits. And on four sides of the Lord of spirits I saw four presences, different from those that do not sleep, and I learned their names. For the messenger that went with me made their names known to me, and showed all the hidden things. And I heard the voices of those four presences as they uttered praises before the Lord of glory. The first voice blesses the Lord of spirits forever and ever. And the second voice I heard blessing the chosen one, and the chosen ones who hang on the Lord of spirits. And the third voice I heard pray and intercede for those who dwell on the earth and supplicate in the name of the Lord of spirits. And I heard the fourth voice fending off the devils, and forbidding them to come before the Lord of spirits to accuse them who dwell on earth. After that I asked the messenger of peace who went with me, who showed me everything that is hidden. Who are these four presences which I have seen, and whose words I have heard and written down? And he said to me, This first is Michael, the merciful and long-suffering, and the second, who is set over all the diseases and all the wounds of the children of men, is Raphael, and the third, who is set over all the powers, is Gabriel, and the fourth, who is set over the conversion to hope of those who inherit continuous life, is named Phanuel. And these are the four messengers of the Lord of spirits, and the four voices I heard in those days. Chapter 41. And after that I saw the secrets of the heavens, and how the kingdom is divided, and how the actions of men are weighed in the balance. And there I saw the mansions of the chosen ones, and the mansions of the holy. And there my eyes saw all the sinners which deny the name of the Lord of spirits being driven from there, and being dragged off, and they could not abide because of the punishment which proceeds from this Lord of spirits. And there my eyes saw the secrets of the lightning, and of the thunder, and the secrets of the winds, how they are divided to blow over the earth, and the secrets of the clouds and dew. And there I saw from where they proceed in that place, and from where they saturate the dusty earth. And there I saw closed chambers out of which the winds are divided, the chamber of the hail and winds, and the chamber of the mist, in the clouds, and the cloud thereof hovers over the earth from the beginning of the world. And I saw the chambers of the sun and moon, from where they proceed and where they come again, and their glorious return, and how one is superior to the other, and their stately orbit, and how they do not leave their orbit, and how they add nothing to their orbit, and they take nothing from it, and they keep faith with each other in accordance with the oath by which they are bound together. And first the sun goes out and traverses his path according to the command of the Lord of spirits, and mighty is his name forever and ever. And after that I saw the hidden and the visible path of the moon, and she accomplishes the course of her path in that place by day and by night, the one holding a position opposite to the other before the Lord of spirits. And they give thanks and praise and do not rest, for their thanksgiving is rest to them. For the sun often changes for a blessing or a curse, and the course of the path of the moon is light to the righteous and darkness to the sinners in the name of the Lord, who made a separation between light and the darkness, and divided the spirits of men, and strengthened the spirits of the righteous, in the name of his righteousness. For no messenger hinders, and no power is able to hinder. For he appoints a judge for them all, and he judges them all before him. Chapter 42. Wisdom found no place where she might dwell. Then a dwelling place was assigned to her in the heavens. Wisdom went out to make her dwelling among the children of men, and found no dwelling place. Wisdom returned to her place, and took her seat among the messengers. And unrighteous went out from her chambers, whom she did not seek. She found and dwelt with them, as rain in the desert and dew on a thirsty land. Chapter 43. And I saw other lightnings and the stars of the heavens, and I saw how he called them all by their names, and listed them, and listened to him. And I saw how they are weighed in a righteous balance according to their proportions of light. I saw the width of their spaces in the day of their appearing, and how their revolution produces lightning. And I saw their revolution according to the number of the messengers, and how they keep faith with each other. And I asked the messenger who went with me, who showed me what was hidden, "What are these?" And he said to me, "The Lord of spirits has showed you their allegorical meaning. These are the names of the holy who dwell on the earth and believe in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever." Chapter 44. I also saw another phenomenon in regard to the lightnings, how some of the stars arise and become lightnings and cannot part with their new form. Chapter 45. And this is the second allegory concerning those who deny the name of the dwelling of the holy ones and the Lord of spirits. And they will not ascend into the heavens, and they will not come on the earth. Such will be the lot of the sinners who have denied the name of the Lord of spirits, who are therefore preserved for the day of suffering and tribulation. On that day my chosen one will sit on the throne of glory, and will try their works, and their places of rest will be innumerable, and their souls will grow strong within them. And when they see my chosen ones, and those who have called on my glorious name, then I will cause my chosen one to dwell among them, and I will transform heaven and make it a continuous blessing and light, and I will transform the earth and make it a blessing, and I will cause my chosen ones to dwell on it. But the sinners and evildoers will not set foot thereon, for I have provided and satisfied my righteous ones with peace, and have cause them to dwell before me. But before that sinners there is judgment impending with me, so that I will destroy them from the face of the earth. Chapter 46. And there I saw one who had a head of days, and his head was white like wool, and another being was with him, whose countenance had the appearance of a man, and his face was full of graciousness, like one of the holy messengers. And I asked the messenger who went with me, and showed me all the hidden things concerning that Son of Man, who he was, and from where he was, and why he went with me the head of days. Why he went with the head of days. And he answered and said to me, This is the Son of Man, who has righteousness, with whom dwells righteousness, and who reveals all the treasures of that which is hidden. Because the Lord of spirits has chosen him, and whose lot has the preeminence before the Lord of spirits, in uprightness forever. And this Son of Man, whom you have seen, will raise up the kings and the mighty from their seats, and the strong from their thrones, and will loosen the reins of the strong, and break the teeth of their sinners. And he will put down the kings from their thrones and kingdoms, because they do not extol and praise him, nor humbly acknowledge from there where the kingdom was bestowed on them. And he will put down the countenance of the strong, and will fill them with shame. And darkness will be their dwelling, and worms will be their bed. And they will have no hope of rising from their beds, because they do not extol the name of the Lord of spirits. And they raise their hands against me, and they raise their hands against the Most High, and tread on the earth and dwell on it. And all their deeds manifest unrighteousness, and their power rests on their riches, and their faith is in the gods which they have made with their hands. And they deny the name of the Lord of spirits, and they persecute the houses of his congregations, and the faithful who hang on the name of the Lord of spirits. Chapter 47. And in those days the prayer of the righteous and the blood of the righteous will have ascended from the earth before the Lord of spirits. In those days the holy ones who dwell above in the heavens will unite with one voice, and supplicate and pray and praise and give thanks and bless the name of the Lord of spirits on behalf of the blood of the righteous, which has been shed, and that the prayer of the righteous may not be in vain before the Lord of spirits, that judgment may be done to them, and that they may not have to suffer forever. In those days I saw the head of days, when he seated himself on the throne of his glory, and the scrolls of the living were opened before him, and all his host, which is in heaven, above his counselors, stood before him. And the hearts of the holy were filled with joy, because the number of righteous had been offered, and the prayer of the righteous had been heard, and the blood of the righteous had been required before the Lord of spirits. Chapter 48. And in that place I saw the fountain of righteousness, which was inexhaustible, and many fountains of wisdom were around it, and all the thirsty drank of them, and were filled with wisdom, and their dwellings were with the righteous and holy and chosen ones. And at that hour the Son of Man was named in the presence of the Lord of spirits, his name before the head of days, yes, before the sun and the signs were created, before the stars of the heavens were made, his name was named before the Lord of spirits. He will be a staff to the righteous, on which to stay themselves and not fall, and he will be the light of the nations, and the hope of those who are troubled of heart, and who dwell on earth will fall down and worship before him, and will praise and bless and celebrate the Lord of spirits with song. And for this reason he has been chosen and hidden before him, before the creation of the world and forevermore, and the wisdom of the Lord of spirits has revealed him to the holy and righteous. For he has preserved the lot of the righteous, because they have hated and despised this world of the unrighteousness, and have hated all its works and ways in the name of the Lord of spirits, for they are saved in his name, and it has been in regard to their life according to his good pleasure. In these days the kings of the earth and strong who possess the land will have become downcast in countenance because of the works of their hands. For on the day of their anguish and affliction they will not be able to save themselves, and I will give them over into the hands of my chosen ones as straw in the fire, So they will burn before the face of the holy. They will sink as lead in the water before the face of the righteous, and no trace of them will be found any more. And on the day of their affliction there will be rest on the earth, and they will fall before them and not rise again. And there will be no one to take them with his hands and raise them. For they have denied the Lord of spirits and his anointed one. The name of the Lord of spirits be blessed. Chapter 49. For wisdom is poured out like water, and glory does not fail before him forever. For he is mighty in all the secrets of righteousness. And unrighteousness will disappear as a shadow and have no continuance, because the chosen one stands before the Lord of spirits, and his glory is forever and ever, and his might to all generations. And in him dwells the spirit of wisdom, and the spirit which gives insight, and the spirit of understanding and of might, and the spirit of those who have fallen asleep in righteousness. And he will judge the secret of things, and none will be able to utter a lying word before him. For he is the chosen one before the Lord of spirits, according to his good pleasure. Chapter 50. And in those days a change will take place for the holy and chosen ones, and the light of days will abide on them, and the glory and honor will turn to the holy on the day of affliction, for which evil will have been treasured up against the sinners. And the righteous will be victorious in the name of the Lord of spirits, and he will cause the others to witness this, that they may convert and forego the works of their hands. They will have no honor through the name of the Lord of spirits, yet they will be saved through his name, and the Lord of spirits will have compassion on them, for his compassion is great, and he is also righteous in his judgment, and also in the presence of his glory unrighteousness will not maintain itself. At his judgment the unconverted will perish before him, and from now on I will have no mercy on them, says the Lord of spirits. Chapter 51. And in those days the earth will also give back that which has been entrusted to it, and Sheol will also give back that which it has been received, which it has received. And destruction will give back that which it owes. For in those days the chosen one will arise, and he will choose the righteous and the holy from among them. For the day has drawn near that they should be saved, and the chosen one will sit on my throne, and in those days, and his mouth will pour out all the secrets of wisdom and counsel. For the Lord of spirits has given them to him and has glorified him. And in those days the mountains will leap like rams, and the hills will also skip like lambs satisfied with milk. And the faces of all the messengers in heaven will be lit up with joy. And the earth will rejoice, and the righteous will dwell on it, and the chosen ones will walk thereon. Chapter 52. And after those days, in that place where I had seen all the visions of which is hidden, I had been carried off in a whirlwind, and they had borne me toward the west. There my eyes saw all the secret things of heaven that will be, a mountain of iron, and a mountain of copper, and a mountain of silver, and a mountain of gold, and a mountain of soft metal, and a mountain of lead. And I asked the messenger who went with me, saying, What things are these which I have seen in secret? And he said to me, All these things which you have seen will serve the dominion of his anointed, that he may be potent and mighty on the earth. And that messenger of peace answered, saying to me, Wait a little, and all the secret things which surround the Lord of spirits will be revealed to you, and these mountains which your eyes have seen, the mountain of iron, and the mountain of copper, and the mountain of silver, and the mountain of gold, and the mountain of soft metal, and the mountain of lead, all these will be in the presence of the chosen one as wax before the fire. And like the water which streams down from above, and they will become powerless before his feet. And it will come to pass in those days that none will be saved, either by gold or by silver, and none will be able to escape. And there will be no iron for war, and nor will one clothe oneself with a breastplate. Bronze will be of no service, and tin will not be esteemed, and lead will not be desired, and all these things will be destroyed from the surface of the earth, when the chosen one will appear before the face of the Lord of spirits. Chapter 53. My eyes saw a deep valley with open mouths there, and all who dwell on the earth and sea and islands will bring gifts and presents and signs of homage to him, but that deep valley will not become full. And their hands commit lawless deeds, and the sinners devour all whom they lawlessly oppress. Yet the sinners will be destroyed before the face of the Lord of spirits, and they will be banished from off the face of the earth, of his earth, and they will perish forever and ever. For I saw all the messengers of punishment abiding there, and preparing all the instruments of Satan. And I asked the messenger of peace who went with me, for whom are they preparing these instruments? And he said to me, they prepare these for the kings and the mighty of this earth, that they may thereby be destroyed. And after this, the righteous and chosen one will cause the house of his congregation to appear. From now on, they will no longer be hindered in the name of the Lord of spirits. And these mountains will not stand as the earth before his righteousness, but the hills will be as a fountain of water, and the righteous will have rest from the oppression of sinners. Chapter 54. And I looked and turned to another part of the earth, and saw a deep valley with burning fire there. And they brought the kings and the mighty, and began to cast them into this deep valley. And there my eyes saw how they made these instruments of their iron chains of immeasurable weight. And I asked the messenger of peace who went with me, saying, for whom are these chains being prepared? And he said to me, these are being prepared for the host of Azazel, so that they may take them and cast them into the abyss of complete condemnation. And they will cover their jaws with rough stones, as the Lord of spirits commanded. And Michael and Gabriel and Raphael and Phanuel will take hold of them on that great day, and cast them on that day into a burning furnace, that the Lord of spirits may take vengeance on them for their unrighteousness in becoming subject to Satan, and leading those who dwell on the earth astray. And in those days punishment will come from the Lord of spirits, and he will open all the chambers of waters which are above the heavens, and of the fountains which are beneath the earth. And all the waters will be joined with the waters. That which is above the heavens is the masculine, and the water which is beneath the earth is the feminine. And they will destroy all who dwell on the earth, and those who dwell under the ends of the earth. And when they have recognized their unrighteousness, which they have worked on the earth, then by these they will perish. Chapter 55. And after that, the head of days regretted and said, I have destroyed all who dwell on the earth in vain. And he swore by his great name, from now on I will not do so to all who dwell on the earth, and I will set a sign in the heavens, and this will be a pledge of good faith between me and them forever, so long as the heavens are above the earth, and this is in accordance with my command, when I have desired to take hold of them by the hand of the messengers, on the day of tribulation and pain because of this, I will cause my discipline and my wrath to abide on them, says God, the Lord of spirits. You mighty kings who dwell on earth, you will have to behold my chosen one, how he sits on the throne of glory, and judges Azazel and all his associates, and all his hosts in the name of the Lord of spirits. Chapter 56. And I saw there the host of the messengers of punishment going, and they held scourges and chains of iron and bronze. And I asked the messenger of peace who went with me, saying, to whom are these who hold the scourges going? And he said to me, to their chosen and beloved ones, that they may be cast into the chasm of the abyss of the valley. And then that valley will be filled with their chosen and beloved ones, and the days of their lives will be at an end. And the days of their leading astray will no longer be reckoned. And in those days the messengers will return and hurl themselves to the east on the Parthians and Medes. They will stir up the kings, so that a spirit of unrest will come on them, and they will rouse them from their thrones, and they may break out as lions from the lairs, and as hungry wolves among their flocks. And they will go up and tread underfoot the land of his chosen ones, and the land of his chosen ones will be a threshing floor and a highway before them. But the city of my righteous will be a hindrance to their horses, and they will begin to fight among themselves, and their right hand will be strong against themselves, and a man will not know his brother, nor his son his father, or his mother, until there is no number of the corpses through their slaughter, and their punishment is not in vain. In those days Sheol will open its jaws, and they will be swallowed up therein, and their destruction will be at an end. Sheol will devour the sinners in the presence of the chosen ones. Chapter 57. And it came to pass after this that I saw another host of wagons, and men riding thereon, and coming on the winds from the east, and from the west to the south. And the noise of their wagons was heard. And when this turmoil took place, the holy ones from the heaven noted it, and the pillars of the earth were moved from their place, and the sound thereof was heard from one end of the heavens to the other. In one day, and they will fall down and worship the Lord of spirits. And this is the end of the second allegory. Chapter 58. And I began to speak the third allegory concerning the righteous and chosen ones. Blessed are you, you righteous and chosen ones, for your lot will be glorious, and the righteous will be in the light of the sun, and the chosen ones in the light of their continuous life. The days of their life will be unending, and the days of the holy without number, and they will seek the light and find righteousness. With the Lord of spirits there will be peace to the righteous in the name of the perpetual Lord. And after this it will be said to the holy in heaven that they should seek out the secrets of righteousness, the heritage of faith, for it has become bright as the sun on earth, and the darkness is past, and there will be a light that never ends, and they will not come to a limit of days, for the darkness will have first been destroyed, and the light of uprightness established forever before the Lord of spirits. Chapter 59. In those days my eyes saw the secrets of the lightnings, and of the lights, and the judgments they execute, and they lighten for a blessing or a curse, as the Lord of spirits wills. And there I saw the secrets of the thunder, and how when it resounds above in the heavens, the sound thereof is heard, and he caused me to see the judgments executed on the earth, whether they are for well-being and blessing, or for a curse, according to the word of the Lord of spirits. And after that all the secrets of the lights and lightnings were shown to me, and they lighten for blessing and for satisfying. Chapter 60. In the 500th year, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month in the life of Enoch, in that allegory I saw how a mighty quaking made the heaven of heavens to quake, and the host of the Most High, and the messengers 1,000,000 and even 100,000,000 were disquieted with a great disquiet. And the head of days sat on the throne of his glory, and the messengers and the righteous stood around him. And a great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me, and my loins gave way, and my reins were dissolved, and I fell on my face. And Michael sent another messenger from among the holy ones, and he raised me up. And when he had raised me up, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the look of this host, and the commotion and the quaking of heaven. And Michael said to me, Why are you disquieted with such a vision? The day of his mercy lasted until this day, and he had been merciful and long-suffering toward those who dwell on earth. And when the day and the judge and the punishment and the judgment come, which the Lord of spirits has prepared for those who do not bow to the righteous law, and for those who deny the righteous judgment, and for those who take his name in vain. That day is prepared, a covenant for the chosen ones, but an inquisition for sinners. When the punishment of the Lord of spirits will rest on them, it will rest in order that the punishment of the Lord of the spirits may not come in vain, and it will slay the children with their mothers and the children with their fathers. Afterward, the judgment will take place according to his mercy and his patience. And on that day, two monsters were parted, a female monster named Leviathan, to dwell in the abysses of the ocean over the fountains of the waters, but the male is named Behemoth, who occupied with his breast a waste wilderness named Duidain, Duidain, on the east of the garden where the chosen ones and righteous dwell, where my grandfather was taken up, the seventh from Adam, the first man whom the Lord of spirits created. And I sought the other messenger, that he should show me the might of those monsters, how they were parted on the one day, and cast the one into the abysses of the sea, and the other into the dry land of the wilderness. And he said to me, You son of man, herein you seek to know what is hidden. And the other messenger who went with me and showed me what was hidden told me that it told me what is first and last in the height of heaven, and beneath the earth in the depth, and at the ends of the earth, at the end of the heavens, and on the foundations of the heavens, and the chambers of the winds, and how the winds are divided, and how they are weighed, and how the portals of the winds are reckoned, each according to the power of the wind, and the power of the lights of the moon, and according to the power that is fitting, and the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how all the divisions are divided, and the thunders according to the places where they fall, and all the divisions that are made among the lightnings, that it may lighten, and their host, that they may immediately obey. For the thunder has places of rest, which are assigned to it while it is waiting for its peal. And the thunder and lightning are inseparable, and although not one and undivided, they both go together through the Spirit and do not separate. For when the lightning lightens, the thunder utters its voice, and the Spirit enforces a pause during the peal, and divides equally between them. For the treasury of their peals is like the sand, and each one of them, as its peals, is held in with a bridle, and turned back by the power of the Spirit, and pushed forward according to the many quarters of the earth. And the spirit of the sea is masculine and strong, and according to the might of his strength he draws it back with a rein, and in like manner it is driven forward and disperses amid all the mountains of the earth. And the spirit of the hoarfrost is his own messenger, and the spirit of the hail is a good messenger, and the spirit of the snow has forsaken his chambers on account of his strength. There is a special spirit therein, and that which ascends from it is like smoke, and its name is frost. And the spirit of the mist is not united with him in their chambers, but it has a special chamber, for its course is glorious both in light and in darkness, and in winter and in summer. And the messenger is in its chamber, and the spirit of the dew has its dwelling at the ends of the heavens, and is connected with the chambers of the rain, and its course is in the winter and summer, and its clouds and the clouds of the mist are connected, and the one gives to the other. And when the spirit of the rain goes out from its chamber, the messengers come and open the chamber and lead it out. And when it is diffused over the whole earth, it unites with the water on the earth. For the waters are for those who dwell on the earth, for they are nourishment for the earth from the Most High who is in heaven. Therefore, there is a great measure for the rain, and the messengers take it in charge. And these things I saw toward the garden of the righteous. And the messenger of peace, who was with me, said to me, These are two monsters prepared comfortably to the greatness of God, will feed. Chapter 61. And I saw in those days how long cords were given to those messengers, and they took wings for themselves and flew, and they went toward the north. And I asked the messenger, saying to him, Why have those messengers taken the red cords and these cords and gone off? And he said to me, They have gone to measure. And the messenger who went with me said to me, These will bring the measures of the righteous and the ropes of the righteous to the righteous, and that they may stay themselves on the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. The chosen ones will begin to dwell with the chosen ones, and those are the measures which will be given to faith, and which will strengthen righteousness. And these measures will reveal all the secrets of the depths of the earth, and those who have been destroyed by the desert, and those who have been devoured by the beasts, and those who have been devoured by the fish of the sea, that they may return and stay themselves on the day of the chosen one. For none will be destroyed before the Lord of spirits, and none can be destroyed. And all who dwell above in heaven received a command and power and one voice and one light like to fire. And they blessed that one with their first words, and extolled and lauded with wisdom. And they were wise in utterance and in the spirit of life. And the Lord of spirits placed the chosen one on the throne of glory, and he will judge all the works of the holy above in heaven, and their deeds will be weighed in the balance. And when he will lift up his countenance to judge their secret ways, according to the word of the name of the Lord of spirits, and their path according to the way of the righteous judgment of the Lord of spirits, then with one voice they will all speak and bless and glorify and extol and sanctify the name of the Lord of spirits. And he will summon all the hosts of the heavens, and all the holy ones above the earth, above the host of the God, the cherubim, seraphim, Ophanim, and the messengers of power, and all the messengers of principalities, and the chosen one, and the other powers on the earth and over the water. They will raise one voice on that day and bless and glorify and exalt in the spirit of faith, and in the spirit of wisdom, and in the spirit of patience, and in the spirit of mercy, and in the spirit of judgment, and of peace, and in the spirit of goodness. And will all say with one voice, Blessed is he, and may the name of the Lord of spirits be blessed forever and ever. All who do not sleep above in heaven will bless him, and all the holy ones who are in heaven will bless him, and all chosen ones who dwell in the garden of life, and every spirit of light, who is able to bless and glorify and extol and hallow your blessed name, and all flesh will glorify and bless your name beyond measure forever and ever. For great is the mercy of the Lord of spirits, and he is the long-suffering, and all his works and all that he has created he has revealed to the righteous and chosen ones in the name of the Lord of spirits. Chapter 62. And so the Lord commanded the kings, and the mighty, and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, and said, Open your eyes and lift up your horns, if you are able to recognize the chosen one. And the Lord of spirits seated him on the throne of his glory, and the spirit of righteousness was poured out on him. And the word of his mouth slays all the sinners, and all the unrighteous are destroyed from before his face. And all the kings, and the mighty, and the exalted, and those who hold the earth will stand up in that day, and they will see and recognize how he sits on the throne of his glory, and righteousness is judged before him, and no lying word is spoken before him. Then pain will come on them as on a woman in travail, when her child enters the mouth of the womb, and she has pain in bringing out. And one portion of them will look on the other, and they will be terrified, and they will be downcast of countenance, and pain will seize them when they see the Son of Man sitting on the throne of his glory. And the kings and the mighty and all who possess the earth will bless and glorify and extol him who rules over all, who has hidden. For from the beginning of the Son of Man was hidden, and the Most High preserved him in the presence of his might, and revealed him to the chosen ones. And the congregation of the chosen and holy ones will be sown, and all the chosen ones will stand before him on that day. And all the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who rule the earth will fall down before him on their faces and worship and set their hope on that Son of Man, and petition him and supplicate for mercy at his hands. Nevertheless, that Lord of spirits will so press them that they will have to go out from his presence, and their faces will be filled with shame, and the darkness will grow deeper on their faces. And he will deliver them to the messengers for punishment, to execute vengeance on them, because they have oppressed his children and his house and his chosen ones, and they will be a spectacle for the righteous, and for his chosen ones they will rejoice over them. Because the wrath of the Lord of the spirits rests on them, and his sword is drunk with their blood, and the righteous and chosen ones will be saved on that day, and they will never again see the face of the sinners and unrighteous. And the Lord of spirits will abide over them, and they will eat and lie down and rise up with the Son of Man forever and ever. And the righteous and chosen ones will have risen from the earth and cease to be of downcast countenance, and they will have been clothed with garments of glory, and these spirits will be the garments of life from the Lord of spirits, and your garments will not grow old, nor your glory pass away before the Lord of spirits. Chapter 63. In those days the mighty and the kings who possess the earth will implore him to grant them a little respite from his messengers of punishment to whom they were delivered, that they might fall down and worship before the Lord of spirits and confess their sins before him. And they will bless and glorify the Lord of spirits and say, Blessed is the Lord of spirits and the Lord of kings, and the Lord of the mighty and the Lord of the rich, and the Lord of the glory and the Lord of the wisdom, and the Lord of wisdom, and the Lord of glory and the Lord of wisdom. And the splendid in every secret thing is your power from generation to generation, and your glory forever and ever. All your secrets are deep and innumerable, and your righteousness is beyond reckoning. We have now learned that we should glorify and bless the Lord of kings, and him who is king over all kings. And they will say, If only we had rest to glorify, and give thanks, and confess our faith before his glory. And now we long for a little rest, but do not find it. We follow hard on and do not obtain it. And light has vanished from before us, and darkness is our dwelling place forever and ever. For we have not believed before him, nor glorified the name of the Lord of spirits, but our hope was in the scepter of our kingdom, and in our glory, and in the day of our suffering and tribulation. He does not save us, and we find no respite for confession that our Lord is true in all his works, and in his judgments and in his justice. And his judgments have no respect of persons, and we pass away from before his face on account of our works, and all our sins are reckoned up in righteousness. Now they will say to themselves, Our souls are full of unrighteous gain, but it does not prevent us from descending from the midst thereof into the burden of Sheol. And after that their faces will be filled with darkness and shame before the Son of Man, and they will be driven from his presence, and his sword will abide before his face in their midst. So spoke the Lord of spirits. This is the ordinance of the judgment with respect to the mighty, and the kings, and the exalted, and those who possess the earth before the Lord of spirits. Chapter 64. And I saw other forms hidden in that place. I heard the voice of the messenger saying, These are the messengers who descended to the earth, and revealed what is hidden to the children of men, and seduced the children of men into committing sin. Chapter 65. And in those days Noah saw the earth had sunk down, and its destruction was near. And he arose from there, and went to the ends of the earth, and he cried aloud to his grandfather Enoch, and with an embittered voice Noah said 3 times, Hear me, hear me, hear me. And I said to him, Tell me, what it is that is falling out on earth, that the earth is in such an evil plight and shaken, lest perhaps I will perish with it. And there was a great commotion on the earth, and a voice was heard from heaven, And I fell on my face, and my grandfather Enoch came and stood by me, and said to me, Why have you cried to me with a bitter cry and weeping? Indeed, a command has gone out from the presence of the Lord concerning those who dwell on the earth, that their ruin is accomplished, because they have learned all the secrets of the messengers, and all the violence of the devils, and all their powers, and the most secret ones, and all the power of those who practice sorcery, and the power of witchcraft, and the power of those who make molten images for the whole earth, and how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metals originate in the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the first, it is a fountain that produces them, and a messenger stands therein, and that messenger is preeminent. And after that, my grandfather Enoch took hold of me by my hand and raised me up, and said to me, Go, for I have asked the Lord of spirits concerning this commotion on the earth. And he said to me, Because of their unrighteousness, their judgment has been determined, and will not be withheld by me forever. Because of the sorceries which they have searched out and learned, the earth and those who have dwelt on it will be destroyed. In these they have no place of conversion forever, because they have shown them what was hidden. And they are the damned. But for you, my son, the Lord of spirits knows that you are pure and guiltless of this reproach concerning the secrets. And he has destined your name to be among the holy, and will preserve you among those who dwell on earth, and has destined your righteous seed both for kingship and for great honors, and from your seed will proceed a fountain of the righteous and holy without number forever. Chapter 66. And after that he showed me the messengers of the punishment, who are prepared to come and let loose all the powers of the waters which are beneath in the earth, in order to bring judgment and destruction on all who abide and dwell on the earth. And the Lord of spirits gave command to the messengers who were going out that they might not cause the waters to rise, but should hold them in check. For those messengers were over the powers of the waters. And I went away from the presence of Enoch. Chapter 67. And in those days the word of God came to me, and he said to me, Noah, your lot has come up before me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprightness. And now the messengers are making a wooden vessel, and when they have completed that task, I will place my hand on it and preserve it, and the seed of life will come out from it, and a change will be set in so that the earth will not remain without inhabitant. And I will make your seed firm before me forever and ever, and I will spread abroad those who dwell with you. It will not be unfruitful on the face of the earth, but it will be blessed and multiply on the earth in the name of the Lord. And he will imprison those messengers who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley which my grandfather Enoch had formerly shown to me, in the west among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw the valley in which there was a great convulsion, and a convulsion of the waters. And when all this took place, a smell of sulfur was produced from that fiery molten metal, and from the convulsion thereof in that place, and it was connected with those waters, and that valley of the messengers who had led mankind astray burned beneath that land. And streams of fire proceed through its valleys, where these messengers who had led those who dwell on the earth astray are punished. But in those days those waters will serve for the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, not for the healing of the body, but for the punishment of the spirit. Now their spirit is full of lust, and that they may be punished in their body, for they have denied the Lord of spirits, and see their punishment daily, and yet do not believe in his name. And in a proportion as burning of their bodies becomes severe, a corresponding change will take place in their spirit forever and ever. For none will utter an idle word before the Lord of spirits, for the judgment will come on them, because they believed in the lust of their body and denied the Spirit of the Lord. And those same waters will undergo a change in those days, for when those messengers are punished in these waters, these water springs will change their temperature, And when the messengers ascend, this water of the springs will change and become cold. And I heard Michael answering and saying, This judgment with which the messengers are judged is a testimony for the kings and the mighty who possess the earth. Because these waters of judgment minister to the healing of the body of the kings and the lust of their body, therefore they will not see and will not believe that those waters will change and become a fire which burns forever. Chapter 68. And after that, my grandfather Enoch gave me the teaching of all the secrets in the scroll, and the allegories which had been given to him, and he put them together for me in the words of the scroll of the allegories. And on that day Michael answered Raphael and said, The power of the Spirit transports and makes me to tremble because of the severity of the judgment of the secrets, the judgment of the messengers, who can endure the severe judgment which has been executed, and before which they melt away. And Michael answered again and said to Raphael, Who is he whose heart is not softened concerning it, and whose reins are not troubled by this word of judgment that has gone out of them on them because of those who have so led them out? And it came to pass, when he stood before the Lord of spirits, Michael said this to Raphael, I will not take their part under the eye of the Lord, for the Lord of spirits has been angry with them because they do as if they were the Lord. Therefore, all that is hidden will come on them forever and ever, for neither messenger nor man will have this portion in it, but they alone have received their judgment forever and ever. Chapter 69. And after this judgment they will terrify and make them to tremble, because they have shown this to those who dwell on the earth. And behold, the names of those messengers. And these are their names. The first of them is Semjaza, the second Artakapha, and the third Armen, the fourth Kokabel, the fifth Turael, and the sixth Rumjal, and the seventh Danjal, and the eighth Nakael, and the ninth Barakel, the 10th Azazel, the 11th Armoros, the 12th Barterjal, the 13th Busasajel, and the 14th Hananel, the 15th Turel, the 16th Simapisiel, the 17th Jetrel, the 18th Tumael, the 19th Turel, the 20th Rumael, the 21st Azazel. And these are the chiefs of their messengers, and their names, and their chief ones, over hundreds and over fifties and over tens. The name of the first Jachan, that is, the one who led astray all the sons of God, and brought them down to the earth, and led them astray through the daughters of men. And the second was named Asbeel. He imparted to the holy sons of God evil counsel, and led them astray, so that they defiled their bodies with the daughters of men. And the third was named Gadriel. It is he who showed the children of men all the blows of death, and he led Eve astray, and showed the shield and the coat of mail and the sword for battle, and all the weapons of death to the children of men. And they have proceeded from his hand against those who dwell on the earth from that day and forevermore. And the fourth was named Penumue, who he taught the children of men, Penemue. He taught the children of men the bitter and the sweet, and he taught them all the secrets of their wisdom. And he instructed mankind in writing with ink and paper, and thereby made many sin from age to age and until this day. For men were not created for such a purpose, to give confirmation to their good faith with pen and ink. For men were created exactly like the messengers, to the intent that they should continue pure and righteous. And death, which destroys everything, could not have taken hold of them, but through his knowledge of theirs they are perishing, and through his power it is consuming me. And the fifth was named Casdaja, Kasdaja. Kasdeja. This is he who showed the children of men all the wicked striking of spirits and demons, and the striking of the embryo in the womb, that it may pass away, and the striking of the soul by the bites of the serpent, and the striking of which befalls through the noontide heat, and the son of the serpent named Tabaet. And this is the task of Casbiel, the chief of the oath which he showed to the holy ones when he dwelt high above in glory, and his name is Beka. This messenger requested Michael to show him this hidden name, that he might enunciate it in the oath, so that those might quake before that name and oath, who revealed all that was secret to the children of men. And this is the power of the oath, for it is powerful and strong. And he placed his oath of Ake in the hand of Michael. And these are the secrets of this oath, that they are strong through this oath. And heaven was suspended before the world was created and forever. And through in the earth was founded on the water. And from the secret recesses of the mountains come beautiful waters, from the creation of the world and continuously. And through that oath the sea was created. And at its foundation he set for it the sand against the time of its anger. And it does not dare pass beyond it from the creation of the world and continuously. And through the oath the depths are made fast and abide, and do not stir from their place from age to age. And through that oath the sun and moon complete their course, and do not deviate from their ordinance from age to age. And through that oath the stars complete their course, and he calls them by their names, and they answer him from age to age. And in like manner the spirits of the water and of the winds and of all zephyrs and their paths from all quarters of the winds, and the voices of the thunder and the lightning of the lightnings are preserved, and the light of the lightnings are preserved, and the chambers of the hail, and the chambers of the hoarfrost, and the chambers of the mist, and the chambers of the rain and the dew are preserved. And all these believe and give thanks before the Lord of spirits, and glorify him with all their power, and their food is in every act of thanksgiving. They thank and glorify and extol the name of the Lord of spirits, forever and ever. And this oath is mighty over them, that their paths are preserved through it, and their course is not destroyed. And there was great joy among them, and they blessed and glorified and extolled, because the name of the Son of Man had been revealed to them. And he sat on the throne of his glory, and the sum of judgment was given to the Son of Man, and he caused the sinners to pass away and be destroyed from off the face of the earth. And those who have led the world astray, they will be bound with chains, and in their gathering place of destruction they will be imprisoned, and all their works will vanish from the face of the earth. And from now on there will be nothing corruptible. For that Son of Man has appeared and has seated himself on the throne of his glory, and all his evil will pass away before his face, and the word of that Son of Man will go out and be strong before the Lord of spirits. Chapter 70. And it came to pass after this that his name during his lifetime was raised aloft to that Son of Man, and to the Lord of spirits from among those who dwell on the earth. And he was raised aloft on the chariots of the Spirit, and his name vanished among them. And from that day I was no longer numbered among them. And he set me between the two winds, between the north and the west, where the messengers took the cords to measure, for me the place for the chosen ones and the righteous. And there I saw the first fathers and the righteous who dwell in that place from the beginning. Chapter 71. And it came to pass that after this that my spirit was translated, and it ascended into the heavens, and I saw the holy sons of God. They were stepping on flames of fire. Their garments were white, and their faces were shone like snow. And I saw two streams of fire, and the light of that fire shone like hyacinth. And I fell on my face before the Lord of spirits. And the messenger Michael, one of the chief messengers, seized me by my right hand and lifted me up, and led me out into all the secrets. And he showed me all the secrets of righteousness. And he showed me all the secrets of the ends of the heavens. and all the chambers of all the stars, and all the luminaries from where they proceed before the face of the holy ones. And he translated my spirit into the heavens of heaven of heavens, and I saw there, as it were, a structure built of crystals, and between those crystals tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw the girdle which girt that house of fire, and on its four sides were streams full of living fire, and they girt that house. And around were seraphim, cherubim, and ophanim, and these are they who do not sleep, and they guard the throne of his glory. And I saw messengers who could not be counted, 1,000,000 and even 100,000,000, encircling that throne, that house. And Michael, and Raphael, and Gabriel, and Phanuel, and the holy messengers who are above the heavens go in and out of that house. And they came out from that house, and also Michael, and Gabriel, Raphael, and Phanuel, and many holy messengers without number, and with them the head of days, his head white and pure as wool, and his raiment indescribable. And I fell on my face, and my whole body became relaxed, and my spirit was transfigured. And I cried out with a loud voice with the spirit of power, and blessed, and glorified, and extolled. And these blessings which went out of my mouth were well-pleasing before that head of days. And the head of days came with Michael, and Gabriel, and Raphael, and Phanuel, and thousands and myriads of messengers without number. And he came to me, and greeted me with his voice, and said to me, This is the Son of Man, who is born to righteousness, and righteousness abides over him, and the righteousness of the head of days does not forsake him. And he said to me, He proclaims peace to you in the name of the world to come, for peace has proceeded from there since the creation of the world, and so it will be to you forever and ever. And all will walk in his ways, since righteousness never forsakes him. Their dwelling places will be with him, and their heritage with him, and they will not be separated from him forever and ever. And so there will be length of days with that Son of Man, and the righteous will have a peace and upright way in the name of the Lord's spirits forever and ever. That is the end of the second section. Again, the second section, let me just make sure that I'm not incorrectly describing anything here. That second section is named the Book of Allegories of Enoch. The third section will be called the Astronomical Book. Now, I will not be reading that today, but I might be reading that in a future video. So if you like this video, smash that like button or whatever they say. Hopefully you found this interesting, perhaps, or fruitful, or maybe it gives you some better understanding of the sort of milieu the Jews were in their terms of their theology and their ideas and concepts in the centuries leading up to Christianity. But otherwise, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, and